let me ask you a little question. Dave, my Jamaican friend over there, running around fast at speed. What was the most important thing that I taught you at the very beginning of this program? Who has the best game? No, me.
No, me.
You?
Actually, me, yeah.
So if you have the best game, are you going to be attractive to every girl that you meet? Absolutely. Yeah, inevitably you will be attractive. So what's the only preventative factor from you getting those girls?
My decision.
True. Well, logistics. Logistics, actually, okay? You played that one shit for the camera, bro. No, that's all right. Dave, who has the best game in the room? Me. No, me, actually.
No, not really.
No, me.
That's what you think, but me, actually.
That's what I like to hear. That's what it should be. And if it came to a girl, you would learn that it's actually me. But hypothetically, it's us both, okay? Quantum fucking physics. So, if you have the best game in the room, probably the best game in the entire world, if it is you, in fact, if I was to die and you had an opportunity, then, then what is the only preventative factor that's going to stop you from getting chicks?
Logistics.
Logistics, exactly. So how do we figure out if those girls are even available? We do it with screening, okay? In about 3 years ago, in 2013, 2012, I was already operating on the assumption that, yeah, there is no reason why I'm not enough, and I have to run with the assumption that I have the best game. So I'm approaching the chicks like, yes, I know what I'm doing, I have your emotional answers, I can show you a good time. I'm not here to prove anything to you, I am here to show you, to give you what you want, to be the guy that you want me to be, to have the sex that you want to have, to be the friend that you want me to be, whatever it's going to be. And what I needed to know is, was she fucking available? Time and place or emotional availability at all. So what I would have to do is very quickly figure out, where does she live? Does she have a boyfriend? Is she partying tonight? What kind of a mood is she in? Are her friends going to restrict her? Are her friends going to stifle her and make her feel self-conscious of the actions that she wants to take? Is she tired? Is she cranky? Is she a risk taker? Is she sexual? Stuff like that. So the quicker that we could figure that out, we would go to the bar and I would go with a team. At one stage I had a team of 7 assistants. Brilliant guys, Vashko included. We had Luke, we had Bearded Joe, we had Alex Walton, we had Tom, we had Gavin, we had Riley, we had, who else am I missing? We're missing Oliver. These guys were all amazing guys, okay? We had Hatman Jake. And we would all go through the club. There would be 8 of us, brilliantly trained by me, and we'd go around and find out which girls were logistically available, which girls were single, and which girls lived in the city, which girls didn't live with their parents, for example, and which girls weren't working the next day. And sometimes we would go into public bars in Helsinki, Stockholm, Geneva, we'd go to bars in Perth, Australia, and no chicks were available at all. No chicks were available at all. We would meet gorgeous chicks, had boyfriends. We would meet girls who were single, but they were aesthetically not self-respecting, okay? And I'm not hot enough to actually get physically turned on as a man. We would meet girls who were really, really hot, but they were being driven back home to the middle of nowhere. And what was funny, what I used to think was me sucking with results in game was actually the realization that no girls were even available to begin with. I would approach girls and get rejected. Why did I get rejected? Because their boyfriend was working at the bar. I would approach girls, have a great night, and they would leave without me at the end of the night. And the reason was why they were taking a trip to Europe from Australia for 3 months the next day. So they were never interested in becoming intimate with me in the first place. So the biggest and most important thing about screening is that you are going to reassure that you never had a compromised value or that you never sucked because they didn't go with you, because they simply could not. They might have been a lesbian, they might have had prior plans, they might have been working at a bakery the next day. And what it would come back to is that the best you could do is leave with a solid number. And for the most part, that's always the most that you can expect from a night when you're going out and meeting chicks. So it's very, very liberating. I'd go to the bar and I actually wouldn't go home with any girls, maybe a couple of phone numbers, talk to some really hot chicks, get some makeouts, go home, basically dick in hand. I'd walk girls to the taxi, walk girls to the car they're driving home in. I'm like, well, nothing was possible. Good work, Alex. You get that like X factor again. I'm like, fuck, I'm good. Didn't pull, but I knew that it was impossible. That old phrase, if it can be done, I can do it. But in this case, couldn't be done, so it didn't get done. Fuck it. I'm going to go have a kebab and then ready for the next night, call the girls later. First of all, with screening, when you go out to a public access bar where people dress well, where there is some kind of a, what do you call it, a door fee, an entrance fee, $10 or whatever the fuck it might be. When you go to a regular bar, set your expectations. Most likely, you cannot take a girl for a one-night stand that night. The most likely expectation is that you can walk a girl to what we call the point of no return. Her bus stop, her taxi, her lift home, maybe her front door, maybe her hotel, whatever it might be. A general rule to follow with chicks and sex and intimacy is that a girl is not going to have sex with you at the first opportunity. Girls need to be in a position to have sex with you and don't before they do sometime later. So usually the first day that you meet a girl, the first encounter that you have with her, she's not going to have sex with you because they might not feel physically prepared, their friends might judge them, they might have slept with a guy recently, they don't want to do it again too soon, whatever it might be. And then when you do finally get them into a position to have sex and they don't do it, the next time you are, the girl can think to herself, well, I didn't rush into it at the first opportunity, I proved to myself I'm not a slut, boom, second opportunity, I want to do this. So what that means for you is likely every single fucking night that you go out, you can find a girl who's single and attractive. Maybe you need to compromise on attractiveness to find a girl who's actually logistically available, and you'll be able to get a girl to an after party every single fucking night. Absolutely. It also comes down to a decision. Do you want to go for a hot girl who's very likely unavailable, or do you want to go for an average girl who is available? So we'll look at that a little bit later when we look at the entire process. But how do you screen? The reason why we talk about it in a subtle sense is because you don't want to walk up to a girl and be like, hey, are you working tomorrow? She's like, yeah, I'm not drinking. I can't party tonight. You don't want to walk up to a girl and be like, well, you're not available. Yeah. You don't want to walk up to a girl and it's like, oh, you've got a boyfriend? Yeah. And then walk off. You don't want to alienate chicks because they're unavailable. So that's why we have to be very indirect in the way that we assess a girl's availability. So we want to find out if the girl's unavailable and there's no chance that we can meet up with her. If she has a boyfriend, for example, we then want to befriend her, compliment her, and politely walk away so that when we find the girl who is available, we can wave to everybody else in the bar, merge sets, create scarcity, make her a little bit jealous, show value and show pre-selection with that abundance. So we're screening in a way that's polite to create abundance and never alienate or polarize anyone ever. Okay. The first screen that you want to do, the first concept, is the takeaway. When you're going out doing cold approach, you want to go into the bar and try to touch base with like 6 groups pretty early. Go to the bar, mingle through the crowd, say hello to 6 different groups. Never, ever stay in set longer than 4 or 5 minutes when you first meet girls. Never. Imagine the group of chicks. You go over, you make an approach. It's a little bit awkward for like 2 minutes. While you kind of open the setup, you relax, you yourself relax, and then after 2 minutes you're like, oh, finally, I got the set to open, I got the set to chill out, and then you're like, I'm staying here all night. I finally got a set to open, I'm staying in here now. That's called camping on the set. Don't do it. I had to tell my guys in Stockholm, Luke, I'm talking about you in Stockholm. He would just stay there. He's like, cool, I'm on a set now, I'm staying in the set. I'm like, Luke, get the fuck out of the set. I need 4 more different options, 4 or 5 different options. And it's quite reassuring because you go around and you'll speak to 5 or 6 different options and the girls will be like out of their mind, immature, don't speak English or whatever it is. And then after you're touching base, well actually after you're doing that takeaway, touch base, do the takeaway, you're a nice guy who didn't really want anything. You kind of tell your story. Hi, I'm Alex, I'm from here. What are you guys doing? Where are you from? You're from here, cool. And then you just bounce out. It's like, well, I had to go see my friends anyway. Nice to meet you. Maybe I'll chat to you later. You owe me a drink. Boom, out you go. So lots of takeaways on your terms before they can kind of reject you on their terms. Touching base is what we call that. So if you buy me 1 drink because it's my birthday, I'll buy you any. Go, grab it, grab it. So she goes on the phone, and then what do? I like walk away. So she's going to want to come back. What up, what up? After you go around and assess like 5 or 6 different sets, get a sense of which girls you seem to be most like connected to reality or fun or in the same headspace as you. Then go back to 2 of those groups. Then You want to start assessing to see who's available and who's single. The best way of doing it, think about the entire group. Think about a group of 3 chicks. When you speak to those 3 chicks, I don't want you to take aim at only the hottest girl. Speak to all 3 of them evenly. If you're not getting laid as much as you want, what I would highly recommend is that you make a rule to only try to pursue the second hottest girl in any group. Think of it that way. Only pursue the second hottest girl in any group, and your results will like triple by tenfold. Okay, what is that? 30 times your results, right? So your results will triple by tenfold. Don't go for the hottest girl, go for the second hottest girl. And by doing that, and you say to the friends, like, I really like her later, it becomes a lot easier, and in a different situation, she could be the hottest girl in that particular group. If you show too much intent or interest in any one girl in the group, you immediately alienate yourself from other opportunities. If you make yourself equally available to all 3, it's kind of like sifting for gold. The opportunity, the girl who's available, who's single, or who's definitely looking for a guy, tends to kind of present herself, or we call it being quiet and attentive, just stands there, becomes a little self-conscious and looks at you, and she's like, single guy approaching us, he seems cool, he seems clean, he looks new, he's well-spoken, interesting. So when you approach the group, straight away you can just get a sense of who's available. Without saying anything, there's this boyfriend matrix, and this is magic. It's hard to do, but it only works when you're really relaxed and all the normal traits that I spoke about. If a girl is quiet and attentive, that's like 30% of the time. She's going to be inside of her head. You're going to make her boring. She's going to hold a lot of eye contact. She's going to kind of lean into you just a little bit. Oftentimes, if camera over here gets it, her feet will start to turn towards you, which you can notice. And it's kind of misleading because she's the one who you could have the most fun with, but she's going to be the one who is the least fun on the approach because she's the one who meeting a guy means the most to, okay? So be aware of that catch. Reaction number 2. This is the very misleading fool's gold reaction. Is the girl who's immediately super open, fun, friendly, touchy-feely, doesn't give a fuck and charismatic. She's probably dressed well, usually pretty hot, because she probably has a boyfriend who's not there that night. A girl who does have a boyfriend, who's not there on that night, who dresses well for her boyfriend, she has nothing to gain and nothing to lose. She likes the stimulation of meeting another guy. She likes the stimulation of her friends meeting another guy. So she's like, don't give a fuck, whatever, partying, having a good time. My boyfriend's not here. I'm with my friends. This is all cool and fun. And it's good because she can get super close and flirty with guys, but she knows nothing's going to happen because her friends won't let it, and she's emotionally loyal to someone else. This is bad, though, because it's very misleading. You'll find yourself talking to a charismatic, open, easygoing girl who's hot. You're like, yay, a girl likes me. But you'll spend the entire night with her only to find out later on that she actually had a boyfriend that you never had a chance from the beginning, okay? Then there's the third reaction, and that's when a girl never talks to you for no good reason, and oftentimes that's because she has a boyfriend who's in the bar, and she doesn't want to be seen speaking to too many different guys. And oftentimes there's the case where there's a girl in the bar who's dating one of the bartenders or the security guys or something, and she always looks really fucking hot, but she's really, really bitchy. And I had to go and like argue with these girls to explain why are they so rude to me, why are they so rude to my friends, and the reason was because their boyfriend is like serving drinks 3 feet away, and he's like a cranky Russian man to begin with. So, with the boyfriend thing, if a girl says she has a boyfriend, she probably does. If you're well dressed, she's not fucking lying about that. But when she says she has a boyfriend, or she's with a guy, when she's emotionally loyal to a guy, well, there might be an element of falseness in that, okay? So if she says that, there might be like 20% room to move. Maybe she's seeing a guy, maybe she's not. So you can kind of explore that idea a little bit further. If a girl says she has a boyfriend, it's like playing a friendly match in soccer. It's like a dead rubber, right, in tennis. If the girl says she has a boyfriend, great. Escalate, have fun, befriend her, make her your sidekick, make her your wing woman. Tell her, I would say to the girl, like, you have a boyfriend? You're so fucking hot. You're amazing. I want you to know that I was going to hit on you first, but you got a boyfriend, so I'm going to go hit on other chicks. You can be friends with me, no sexual tension. I call you my sister. Some shit like that. Then she's a massive familiar face. She's on your side and she's supporting you. And when you finally do meet a hot girl later on that night, you can wave back to that girl as your friend and as your comrade who supports the process, who's going to encourage the new girl that you're with, who's probably super fucking nervous, to go home with you. It's all kind of like building exponential abundance in that bar, exponential support. Whereas if you're walking away from chicks, like you have a boyfriend, fuck, then you're going to alienate people and they're going to think you're just going to go trying to go around to get pussy. With the boyfriend screens, the best and most direct boyfriend screen that you can have is to ask the girl if she wants to date your friend, okay? Or if guy, well actually no, say, do guys ask you on dates? So if I was gonna ask this girl here sitting in the front row, do guys ask you on dates? It's like, I don't know. I'm like, why not? And that's the revealing factor, that second step. She's gonna say, well, cause I have a boyfriend, or I'm kinda seeing someone, or that would be if she is actually committed to somebody else. If she's single, or if it's kind of like a green light, she'll say, I don't know, they should, or I don't know, I'm not dating at the moment. I don't know, I want to be single. So it's very revealing when you ask why not. Do you want to date my friend? Do you want to date that friend?
What do you even
You're just a cute who wants to date nice guys.
I don't even want to date anyone.
Why is that?
Why should I?
Yeah, good point, good point. I was just wondering. I ask, do you wear the ring finger on this hand? I ask, are you married? Which is kind of like an exaggeration when you ask it for young girls. Are you married? Why not? She's like, well, I'm too young. I'm dating someone, but I'm not married yet. So it gives it away straight away. You don't have like a husband or something?
No.
Why not? Nobody asked you yet?
No, no one has asked me yet. So.
If I go on 75 dates with you over 3 years, maybe I can marry you. Once you find that out, it's like all the pressure is off. All the pressure is off. And trust me when I say that we have been going out chasing girls for years and years. And we would chase girls who did have partners, who had boyfriends. And what we would find is we could get them home, get them into bed, fool around, rub their genital areas, kiss them on the neck, but they wouldn't kiss us and they wouldn't fuck us. They love the flirting, they love fucking around with other guys, but they're not going to break that penetration code, which I would hope would be the same case for my girlfriend as well. Do you want to have a date at the bar? Look, a corner of the bar. Do you want to have a date? Okay, I want to talk about dates, Valentine's Day or whatever, to get her maybe thinking about the concept of if she's dating somebody else. Do you want to go have a date at the bar? So once that pressure is off, you can just game hard, relax, be fucking goofy, warm yourself up, and then it's kind of like you've got a super hot wing woman who you can bounce out from and meet other chicks. That pressure off feeling is so good to get you super relaxed, unwind, relax, and become expressive and aroused to go and do your next approaches. The next most solid boyfriend screen. This one's slightly more complicated, but it's pretty much 100%. We call this the vodka protocol, and this one's kind of complicated, and I want to explain it very carefully. The vodka protocol, okay? Imagine we have myself and David here. We are wingmen. We are wingmen, me and David. See, camera there, camera there. We are wingmen, Alex and David. We go and approach two girls. Maybe one's cute, maybe one's not. Maybe they're both cute, who the fuck knows? But what is the most revealing way to find out if a girl is single or not is to ask a girl about how single her friend is. So, if myself and David are winging together and we go and approach two girls, I want to ask my girl very, very quickly, my invisible girl here, if her friend is available. I'm like, girl, is your friend available? We could set her up with my friend. They look so cute together. They seem to be getting along so well, blah, 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 blah. So she's going to say, the friend is going to be like, yeah, maybe we should. That means she's single. Oftentimes a girl might say something like, well, she's seeing a guy, but we all hate him, and he doesn't even like him, she doesn't even like him that much. Yeah, they should go for it. Or she's like, no, she's seeing someone. He's really nice. I'm like, ah, shit, don't go there. Or she might say, well, she's seeing someone, but we all hate him. So yeah, fuck it, tell them to go together. So I'm going to make a decision based on what she said. I'm going to communicate that to my friend with something that we call the vodka protocol. So whenever you're out with your wingman, you should almost always do this. Whenever you wing with friends, always do the vodka protocol. Ask a girl about her friend, but never ask it directly. When you ask it indirectly like that, it's kind of removed and you're not there to be screening or basically canvassing to see which vagina is available. So I'll then say to David, if I think we should stay there, vodka protocol, I'll say no more vodka. We stay here. Okay, no more vodka. I've had enough. I'm going back to beer or rum or something. If I think we should go, I'll cut the conversation. I'm like, I don't have a drink. David, vodka to the bar now. You guys are super nice. Kiss, 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 kiss. To the bar now, and off we go. Knowing they have a boyfriend, in my opinion, I think it's wise that we leave so that we go to the bar to get some vodka. But often it's really good because the moment that I say, hey, let's get a vodka, I'm going to wait a little bit. It will remind my wingman to screen on my behalf as well, to ask if this girl that I'm talking to, if we think that she is single or available. And then he's going to say, you know what, man, I think I want to stay here. I think I want to drink more vodka. Agreeing that we should go to the bar, or no more vodka, indicating that we should stay here with that chick because he thinks she's available for me. So that's the vodka protocol. And yes, it is kind of complicated, but that's the most absolute thorough way to know if you should stay with the girls or not. Once you've done a combination of screens to really verify that you know which girl of the group is single or which girls of the group are single, so you kind of have your options of which ones you think are available to go with, then soon after you've got to make the decision, okay? So you've got a group of girls in front of you, some are single, maybe you've got several different groups, and there's different pros and cons to going with different chicks. Then it comes down to what are their relationships with their friends, what are their travel logistics, and what are their living logistics. However, if you've got a situation where you're talking to a group of chicks and maybe both of them are actually available and one of them is very attractive and one of them's not as attractive, and the lesser attractive one wants your attention because she's a little bit more desperate or a little bit more forward with her desire for wanting guys. At the same time, the taller, hotter girl is going to be a little bit more self-conscious or feel a little bit greedy about always getting the good attention. Oftentimes, if you're confident, you're going to have a situation where you want the hot chick, but the lesser hot chick wants you, but I want you to speak to both girls equally. Difference is, make physical contact with the hot chick that you like. That's all well and good, but you need to know how to deal with the girl who is into you, but you don't like her. So one of the best ways to kind of put her off is to say to the lesser attractive chick, I'm really into your friend. Like, I think we should get married. I think we should be together. But even that's a little bit like a cliche. When you say it that obviously to the lesser attractive of the two single and available friends, she's immediately going to say to her friend, he likes you, this is predictable, let's go dance. And always, the hot girl is going to have a kind of a sympathy for the less hot girl, but she is going to like the attention that she's the most important one of the two. So she's going to feel super fucking important, get all that validation, get all that good attention, dance with her friend, and remain the status between the two. So I have a kind of a technique that we have on video here that I'm going to show you that you can express yourself with the lesser attractive girls to make it a moot point, okay? To make it that even though she likes you, you're not going to go for her. And so as this particular night goes on, I obviously want the better one, but the shorter one's like, I want him, I want Alex, blah, blah, blah. So here is how I basically kick that idea to the curb.
That's okay, I know it.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah?
Can I be honest with you?
You're gonna be honest, yeah?
I know that when I spoke to you guys really early tonight, you're super pretty, and you're exactly like my ex-girlfriend from Sweden. Blonde hair, blue eyes, fine eyebrows, fine complexion, fair skin, same height, massive chest, and it's like
All over again, oh my god.
I know, like super fucking sexy, but then super like strange and so similar. So it's not a bad thing. It's like a weird thing. So like, look at you, like, I have this like weird emotions to you. I know. And, well, that and my friend Matt.
Do you live here or where do you live?
Stockholm.
Stockholm.
Yeah. And
Why
also
do you live in Stockholm if you're from Australia?
Australia.
Yeah.
First of all, my friend Matt, he really wanted to speak to you first. So he really wants to speak to you, but he got too drunk. And then I was like, oh my God, she looks exactly like my ex-girlfriend, who he knows.
Where is she?
But she's your friend.
I know.
She's not my friend. You go dance. I'll have fun anyway.
Hey, I know she's really nice and pretty, and it's okay. You have to go say something to her.
So you get the idea there. What you can do is you can say, you're so beautiful. You're exactly like this girl who I was dating for months and years. Like your eyes, your face, your body is just incredible. But I have really weird emotions towards you. And if you want to even go even further, my friend really, really, really likes you. Okay, or my brother would really like you. You have to meet my brother. He loves girls with your exact type of beauty. That way you can kind of defer the idea and then you can smooth it over. And then the hot girl can actually get a guy without her lesser hot friend interrupting. I can't tell you how many times that you have to deal with that, because a girl without that kind of abundance, she really needs to kind of hunt for guys, whereas a girl with a lot of abundance, with the right kind of beauty, guys are always just going to be throwing themselves at her. So it's a complicated little thing that you're going to encounter a lot, which is easy enough to deal with. And the girl is going to be a little bit disappointed, but you know, that's life. If you really respect yourself, you're learning game, you're going to the gym, you're dieting and all that good stuff, then you are entitled to something of equal value to yourself. Now, you're getting an idea of which girls are kind of single, and you want to then find out how the group knows each other. That one doesn't really matter that much, but it can kind of be an indication of if they have a strong relationship or a weak relationship, and who is accountable for your girl. So you want to know how many people she's there with. Are there 2 girls, 3 girls, 4 girls, guys, whatever. Once you decide on the girl that you want to go for, once you make the decision, then you want to get rapport with all of her friends. So actually, by that time, have physicality with the girl who you want to go for. And it might not be like an intentful, direct, embracing physicality, but more like a physical rapport when you occupy each other's physical space. Talk about that in the next module, actually the next module after the next one. And then really go business mode with all of her friends. Get to know them. Where are they from? What do they do? Kind of have a bit of physicality. Put your girl's arm around your neck and then get to know everybody equally. People talk about isolating the chick away from the group. You should be of the mindset that you never ever isolate your girl, ever. Instead, what you want to do is you want to be gaming the friends so much that they are the ones that tell you to take the friend away. You don't want to be like dragging her away and making everyone defensive and fracturing the group. Instead, get them so happy with you that they say to you like, I want you to take her away. You guys go now, look after her, be careful, be good. So game the friends first. It's quite easy to find out the logistics and the living dynamics in the transport. You want to screen to find out where they live, how they're getting home, who they're living with. Do they live with their parents? Do they live with their friends? Are they in a shared dormitory and things like that? One way to ask that, one simple way, is by initiating conversation about where you live. Be like, oh, I just moved out with my friends. I just moved out of home. I still live with my parents, whatever you want to say, and then bounce the conversation to them. Who do you live with? That can be simple enough. If you want to be more indirect about it, ask them, do you have a pet dog? Do you have a pet cat? Do you have roommates? Do you have parents? That can reveal her living situation, if you can pull to her house or not. Do you have a cat? Do you have a pet cat or a pet dog?
A cat?
You have a cat? Out of the blue, for no reason, I'm like, do you have a pet cat?
No.
No, I was just wondering. I can imagine like every Norwegian person has a little apartment with a little baby pet. A little puppy? In Norway? I mean in Oslo or outside of Oslo?
Oslo, he's 8 years old. He's not a puppy anymore.
So she mentioned, I live in Oslo, which is a small city, but taxis are expensive. So she will live within 10 to 15 minutes maximum, most likely 10 minutes. If you don't have a place to pull, use your brain and move out of home, or put your car to good use, or do it when your parents aren't there. But like the best thing to do is move the fuck out of home, okay, if you want to pull more. Or wait to, if you're really young, you've got to go on dates and wait till your parents are at home and then start hooking up, okay? But obviously this is more of an adult program. Another thing, you want to know how the girls are getting home, okay? So what you can talk about really early on in the club is getting food after the club. So I can't wait to get pizza, kebab, McDonald's, hot dog, whatever turns you on, and then ask them what do they eat after the club, and then oh cool, and then is that near your bus stop, is that near your taxi, or whatever. Oftentimes you can predict a girl's logistics based on the city that she lives in, whereas here in London we can assume that everyone in London probably lives a good 15-20 minute bus or train ride out from Central. If you're partying in Central. If you're in Manhattan, New York, you can assume that they probably live somewhere in Manhattan, New York, or maybe Bridge and Tunnel, which is like a 30-minute taxi ride, 20-minute taxi ride, a bus or a train late at night. In a place like Long Island, for example, near New York, that's kind of like a community. In Helsinki, it's like a community. So you can usually assume, like in Sydney, for example, some of the girls live in the suburbs, some of the girls live central. In Melbourne's like this sprawling nightmare where everybody lives everywhere else, and it's really difficult logistics, and girls often have to go home in the car that they were driven there in. So just understanding the city that you live in is the best way to kind of get a sense of where they live. So how they're getting home is going to factor into the equation as well. Will it be easy to pull them or not? How far away do they live? What the fuck do you have to do about that? Next thing, the transport itself. If there's too many girls in the group and there's too many of your friends, then oftentimes you're not going to fit into the same taxi, or you need to divide the taxis, or you need to be really bossy on the road at the end of the night to get 2 Ubers or 2 taxis or whatever to move everybody to a location. So all of this, like when you actually think about it, when you assess it from the outset, when you're going out and cold approach meeting girls, most likely it's going to happen is that it's logistically going to be almost fucking impossible to get a girl into an after party situation from cold approach. If you're going to like exclusive nightclubs where people are like party people, where people want to have after parties anyway and they're willing to stay out all night, it's all well and good. But again, I'm talking about more regular public access bars where cold approach is more normal. Of course, the dream come true scenario of logistics is when you're in Las Vegas. That's so fucking good. I mean, you stay in the hotel like Wynn or Encore, you go from XS 45 meters to an elevator shaft, security's like, bring your girls, have an after party, have an orgy. Have fun, guys. Like the security encourages you to go upstairs. And you know that you live right nearby, the room is huge, there's alcohol in the room, and straight away you can just get it done, which is pretty cool. We then want to screen, now that we know where they live and how they're getting home, we then want to screen how adventurous they are, okay? So with adventurousness, you can screen that a couple of ways. You can talk about having orgies, skinny dipping. Like this is really soon off the open. Say, hey, what are you guys doing after the club? We're going to go swimming naked in Stockholm Harbour. We're going to go swimming naked at Bondi Beach. We're going to go to Ibiza and we're going to go skinny dipping on the beach at Magnetic Island or some bullshit like that. Or we're going to have a pajama party, but you guys got to wear your lingerie, like later on. So we're going to see how they laugh to kind of sexual innuendo, like after parties. Or we're going to go to a nude beach or something in the morning. Stuff like that. If you start touching on those topics, you can see if they think it's funny and cool, or if they're like uptight, prudish, maybe they're in a relationship. It's very revealing to ask that kind of question. I'm going to meet her dad.
Just saying the hookup.
I'm going to meet her dad. We're going to go hunting and drink a vodka Red Bull.
Oh yeah,
Do me. I just love it. 50 Shades of Blonde. Do you want a birthday kiss?
Yeah.
There you go. And my favorite screen of all time, the easiest screen of them all, what do you think that is? The easiest one. You're in a bar, you talk to a chick. Yeah, I do want to get wasted. Good, Jimmy, good. So the first thing I said to the girls, like, oh, you don't have a drink. Do you want to get wasted? Now, I'm not going to buy every girl a drink. Hell no, it's too fucking expensive. Just for the record, for the Australians watching this, a vodka, we had a shot of tequila at a bar here in London. It cost 60 Australian dollars for a little half serve, no, that was actually a double serve shot of tequila here in a bar in London. Fucking ridiculous. So I'm not going to go around buying everyone a drink that I offer one to. But if I say to the girls, nice to meet you, do you want to go skinny dipping? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They're cool with a joke. I'm like, awesome, you don't have a drink. Time to get wasted. Come with me. They're like, oh, what? I don't know, maybe. So they don't want to like give into the drink that easily. But I could ask them, what are you drinking? Can I offer you a drink? And they're like, oh, maybe. So you're entertaining the idea to see if they're in a drinking, partying, night out, anything happens, adventurous mood. And that's the best way to reveal that. You need a vodka Red Bull is what you need. Yeah. What was your name again? I just want to get drunk and pass out on your face like this. That's all. From where you meet them in the bar to actually getting yourself over to the bar to buy that drink, that can take 15 minutes. And it's kind of good because if you say to the girl something like, oh, you know, I can't buy you a drink now, or you're busy, you've got to see your friends, I owe you one, speak to them again later, they're like, hey, how about that drink? Another fun drinking game that I play with the chicks is I'll say, if you buy me one drink tonight, I'll buy you all the drinks for the rest of the night. And almost every time, they buy me a drink and I don't have to buy them shit. It's awesome, okay? Buy me one drink, I'll lead them over to the bar, and then I'll kind of bait and switch. I'll be like, if you buy me one, I'll buy you as many as you want for the rest of the night. Or sometimes it works like one for me, one for them. And in European countries, women feel like it's like demeaning to have a drink bought for them. So they'll buy you a drink anyway, which is always nice if you're a tourist in those countries like Sweden or Denmark or whatever. So if you're putting the picture together, logistics are not impossible. You should, as a grown man, have your own place to pull to. You know, maybe you share an apartment, maybe you've got a friend who's got a good apartment, you live somewhere relatively nearby. You can win her friends over. She's not working a lot the next day. Oh wait, the working screen. Finding out if she's working the next day. That can detract as well, because if she does need to get up and work, or if she does need to take a trip somewhere the next day if you're at a holiday destination, in that case, the best way to screen for that quickly is I say, do you work at a bakery? Especially in Australia. I'm like, girls, do you work at Baker's Delight? Do you work at Brumbies? And it's kind of funny, I think in Baker's Delight in Australia, they have a policy to only hire really attractive young girls. So if I'm at a nightclub, I'm like, hey, do you work at Baker's Delight? They're like, yeah. I'm like, are you working at 5 a.m. tomorrow? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, that makes pulling and having sex kind of tricky, doesn't it? So by saying, do you work at a bakery? She's going to be like, no, I don't work at a fucking bakery. What the fuck do you think this is? I'm like, oh, well, you know. She's like, I'm a waitress. I work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, not at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that's kind of revealing, especially if you're talking to girls who are young and in college, who could have any combination of different jobs, most likely waitressing, receptionist, or whatever. As you get older and go to more regular type cocktail bars, you'll find that all girls have like kind of a regular 9-to-5 job, office job, administrative job, a certain profession. It could be a doctor, nurse, whatever. But you need to know about that to decide how much time and effort you want to put into the set that night. Do you work tomorrow?
No.
It depends on like how strong of a drink I'm going to get you.
You can have a little drink. Do you have to work tomorrow? No.
Sorry?
Do you work tomorrow at the Nope.
No, I only work on
So, are they single? Where do they live? How are they getting home? What are their working hours? Do they want to get drunk? And if you can assess that for 3 or 4 different groups in the bar, then you know, you have a really clear idea that you know that the time that you're going to spend with that group is going to lead towards something that has potential, instead of the fucking disaster of spending 3 hours with a group of girls, getting yourself emotionally involved, perhaps buying some drinks, letting go of every other opportunity in the bar, only to realize the girl is moving internationally to study next week, only to realize that she lives with her ex-boyfriend, only to realize that her friends, you know, she's out for her friends and there's some massive issue. So be conscious about screening And if you're ever running out of things to say, which I know everybody does under pressure, just think to run the screens. Run the screens. Does she have a boyfriend? Do guys ask her on dates? Is she working tomorrow? How does she know her friends? Does she have a pet dog, i.e. living arrangement? And is she driving a nice car to get home? Is she driving her friends or whatever? In a girl's reality, they might think that when they go out, if they're going to meet a guy, if they're single, they run it in their head like this. Like, I went to a bar, I felt a little bit nervous, I met a guy, he was kind of stupid, but he bought me a drink, I couldn't say no, we got to talking, I bought him a drink, and then it got late, I got tired, and it just happened. That's like kind of girl projection. He was hygienic, he wasn't too smart for me, he wasn't controlling me, he wasn't pushing me to do anything he wanted, but because he didn't have anything to say, he asked me if I wanted a drink. If you know that it's a legitimate reason to be in that set, if the girl seems available and she lives in the same city and logistics seem good to go, by all means, buy one drink. I would even go as far as to say make a rule not to buy two. It's stupid to say, I don't buy bitches drink. I mean, motherfucker, you're in a bar. What is the purpose of a bar? Go to the fucking bar. Have a fucking drink at the bar. Go there. It's great.
You don't even have a drink.
I don't.
I know. Why don't you like...
I got a tequila shot. It was awful.
I said, are you drinking? She said, I'm having a tequila shot. That means that she's in a kind of a party mood a little bit. Tequila means like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Is what that means, which is good. So when I see my students in interactions with girls in too much isolation over there in the bar and the girls don't have a drink in their hand, as a gentleman in the truest sense of the word, you wouldn't leave a girl without a drink. It's just a rude thing to do. So if the girl has empty hands, I will always talk about like, oh, you don't have a drink, can I offer you one? And that will reveal if she's in an adventurous attitude or not. And if she wants one, I'm like, sure, let's go over to the bar and let's grab one for you. But I'm not a fucking Salvation Army. I'm not a fucking charity. I'm not going to just give everyone a drink. I'll buy you one only, and perhaps maybe you owe me one later, okay? That way we're even. Girls like that as well when it comes to buying drinks, that they can buy you one back. Or maybe you go to the bar and you buy her and she buys you one at the same time. Some kind of weird thing like splitting the bill. Otherwise, when chode guys buy girls drinks, what happens is they feel like they owe the guy something. So you want to kind of remove that pressure from the girls as well. Once you kind of make the move from isolation to the bar, then you can start demonstrating that you can approach other girls while she's with you, and you can include other creepy guys and even kind of pawn her off to guys who make her uncomfortable. While she's there waiting for your drink order to be processed, she's literally stuck in connection with you, which is really good. So from that time when you're like, let's go to get a drink at the bar, you've got 5 to 10 minutes of getting from where you are to the bar, ordering it, fucking around, mingling, getting closer in each other's space. There's a great example in the video where I'm like, oh, I'll save you in the hustling, bustling area of the bar.
Are you growing up in Oslo or are you from a different town?
I'm from
Be careful. Let me save you. Oh shit, I got you. It's okay.
It gives you a purpose as well, something to do. In the same way that people smoke cigarettes because they don't know what to do with their hands, by going to and fro from the bar itself, not even buying shit, it gives you something to do in a nightclub that kind of alleviates nervousness. And during that time, you can really get away with a lot. So you can escalate, you can push pull, you can tell jokes. During that time, you're the boss. It's funny as well, it's kind of like an automatic trigger that as soon as the girl receives the drink, she's like, thank you, goodbye. All right. So what I do, as soon as I get a girl a drink, I'll say, enjoy the drink. I'm really glad I got a chance to buy a drink and talk to you up until this point. Enjoy. Maybe I'll talk to you later. And I do the takeaway once I bought her the drink. So she feels like she owes me more conversation. And I'm doing her a massive favor of alleviating her from the pressure of having to stand there and listen to me while she's got the drink. Now, this is more of a negative trigger that she's had from other guys than that she doesn't want to speak to you. Like, she does want to speak to you, but she's like, when I receive a drink, pressure's on, they just start freaking the fuck out, okay? So if you let her go free once you buy her the drink, she's going to be like, thank you, and not know what to do with it, and really kind of miss you that you've gone away. It's a weird dynamic. It kind of pisses me off, but it works well. I remember, like, in Australia, fucking German girls, German tourist chicks, they would literally manipulate us into buying them as many drinks as possible as though it was a game. And it happened for months on end. And this is how we learnt screening. These little schnappy cunts. I'm like, I would escalate on the girls. I'd be like grinding on them, making out with their necks. I would say clearly, do you have a boyfriend? They'd be like, no, because I don't want to be taken for a fucking ride. When a pint of beer in Australia costs like $10 US, thanks to the Australian government and taxes, I'm happy to buy a girl a couple of drinks, especially if it's my night off, I want to have a good time, and the drinks are relatively cheap. Fuck it, why not? And then the girls would turn around later and be like, ha ha ha, we were joking. We have got a boyfriend. Like, you fucking cunts. Like, what the fuck is this? Fucking stupid. You wasted that much of our time. And we always felt like we as Australian guys, for German chicks, they've come all the way across the world for confident, outgoing, like kind of immature, silly, fun-loving, surfy type Australian guys to drink with in a bar. That's a fucking tourist attraction. We are that. We are Australian guys. And for them to take advantage of that, we introduced this concept called boyfriend treatment, and that's basically like we kind of harass them and fool around a little bit until they leave the bar. So you can alienate them and kind of like show a little bit of recourse and have fun with it. So what we did in Australia is my friend would like kind of tackle chicks and lick them on the face. And my other buddy, Vashko, he would like tackle them and like say all these like outrageous plot lines to kind of stir them up and like, you know, chew their hair, make hair mustaches, say you are my pigeon and things like that. So it's really annoying and upsetting when you get taken for a ride that way and you get fucked over and you lose all that money, but more it's a waste of time because as the night goes on, from the start to the finish, the entry point to the end of the night, the front door rule, as the energy goes up, in fact, let's get the notepad going here. As the energy of the night goes up, remember we got the time, energy of the night, time of the night, that's like the entry point, and then the front door rule is at the end. Girls have like a limited kind of energy span. It goes like this, like that. There's some kind of apex over here before they leave the club. Most guys start getting drunk something like this. And if you're not approaching before the guys start, wait, I might do that one again. Guys start getting drunk and then at a certain point, they start doing their approaches. At a certain point. And this is like when guys start getting like aggressive. Come on, stylus. Guys start doing aggressive approaches after a certain point. Like if it's a 3 a.m. bar, guys start getting aggressive at around about 12:45 or 1 o'clock. But if you're not going around and meeting chicks before that, if you're not making approaches before that, if you wait to make your approaches after that, if you spend this period of time with a dead lead, with a girl who was never available, and then you start trying to approach here, it's going to be harder because the girls are going to be a little bit defensive and put off by all the other drunk guys making those aggressive approaches. Understand that. So you want to kind of have screened out and decided on a good group before people are kind of reaching their satisfaction point of the night, and you can make a connection and take those girls in a good and positive direction rather than them simply getting creeped out and wanting to go home alone. So see the graph there like that. So make sure you get a good decision, and that also is powerful to do the takeaways. Even if you've got a gorgeous girl in front of you who you think is single, take the fuck away, meet other chicks, do the rounds, and when you do go back to that girl, having had an abundance of options or creating an abundance of options, then you can say to your chick, oh my God, I spoke to so many kind of crazy girls here, friends of friends, and now I'm so glad I'm back with you. I don't even know you, but I know that I want to be speaking to you. The girl might even test you a little bit as well and say some shit like, you speak to every girl in the bar. I'm like, well, I spoke to my mate's girlfriend. I spoke to a girl from work. I spoke to my ex-girlfriend's friends, and I spoke to a girl who works here. You know, are you jealous? Are you jealous, you jealous little fuck? Oh my God, I'm going to go back and speak to these random chicks. Now, with physicality as well, we'll mention it. You never want to be doing escalation on the girls that you're meeting, because otherwise the girls can test you and say you're escalating on all those other girls, or you're trying to pick up every girl here, which it will look like. So by only touching girls on the shoulders, you'll never get that feeling or give the sense that to other chicks that you're going around being a sleazy player. The other thing that we found happening a lot in the 4 Natural in London is that girls would get too drunk. Girls would start normal and get too fucking drunk. And it's really annoying because when they are that drunk, what the fuck can you do? You can't, unless you're equally as drunk as them, then it's like morally wrong to kind of keep gaming them. They have to go home alone with their friends. So you want to kind of distract them. And the best way to do that is take them to the dance floor, okay? Be like, oh, I love music. Yay, dance floor. Take them to the dance floor, let them dance it out, keep the circulation going. Otherwise, if they do get distracted doing heaps of fucking shots, it's not going to be good, all right? As for you guys as well, when it comes to drinking, try not to drink anything until well and truly after midnight. Okay, if it's a 3 a.m. bar, I don't want to drink anything until about 1 o'clock. I'll have water, I'll make sure that I've eaten well. I may have like 1 orange juice just for a little bit of blood sugar. And then if I start drinking after 1 o'clock, I can comfortably have shots if they come to me. I can grab a rum and coke or something if I want to. If I take a girl to the bar to buy her a drink, I can. And I'm not drunk at the end of the night, and I'm keeping my focus to coordinate the screens and the logistics at the end of the night. So that's the best way to think about it. But honestly, if you're going to go out from 9 p.m. till 4 a.m., what is that? That's like 7 hours being on your feet, moving around, dancing a little bit. You're literally going to be exhausted in a nutritional sense. And what I find works best for me is beer. I drink a beer or two, orange juice or gin and juice. Gin and juice is like one of the most easiest digested and least lethal of all the alcohols to have. But if I'm feeling kind of fit and I'm not that hungry, I'll have straight vodka. Just sip straight vodka, take it easy, ice cold. You know, nothing too harmful, nothing that's going to give you some mental hangover the next day. So a lot of the times when I go out, I'm going out like 7 nights a week, I'll drink a little bit. I don't fear alcohol and I don't need it, but I am fucking starving, and it's not like you can buy a kebab at the bar in Maddox here in London. So a little beer or something like that gets you through. Just don't push it and don't fear it. So the question was, do I ever go for like a 5-minute pull? If I can pull into a location that's within 5 minutes, maybe I will. If I'm in a very young age group, I used to think that way. But when you're going to nightclubs and there's a lot of other logistics that are like going on with the group, how do they get home? How do they know their friends? How do they get there? They're worried about one another. It's so much better to stay with the entire group, to have them trust you and tell you to take their friend into isolation than to steal their friend into isolation. It's only going to make the friends defensive, and it's going to make the girl defensive when you actually come to doing some kind of escalation, like some kind of intimacy. Sometimes it's on, and if it's on, do it. Why not? You're at a festival, you're at a bar, a party, do what you got to do. But otherwise, my general rule of thumb is to never rush it, because then I never make it defensive. But if there's ever an opportunity to go for it straight away, like a 5-minute pull, if I clearly see that, then I'll go for it. But otherwise, I like to take it slow and wait for them to encourage me, because that makes it as fast as possible. Now, there's a little bit of a decision-making process with this. It's not a perfect world out there, and you might find a girl who's not the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen, not your dream girl, but she seems available, and it seems like you could do something with that interaction. Or, on the other hand, you've got a gorgeous girl who needs to work at 5 a.m. the next day, and she's leaving the city to go and study somewhere else for 3 months. So you got average girl who's available, not working tomorrow, partying tonight, lives in an apartment with her friends, the friends are cool with you. Or you've got a really hot girl who you're also getting along with really well, who's working very early, doing something, who the fuck knows what, and she's leaving within a week. Both girls like you, which one do you go for? Well, either is a valid decision. Either is a valid decision. If you say to yourself, you know what? This girl's so gorgeous, I know I have no chance with her, I just want to spend the time with her, and that's good enough for me. So you spend the entire night with her, talking, chatting, exchanging Instagram, hanging out, get a drink or two, and you be the guy to walk her to her taxi, her car, her bus stop, getting food with her at the end of the night. You have that instant date. That could be equally as valuable to you, spending time with a hot girl, as it could be taking a girl home and actually having sex. So it's completely up to you what you value more on any given night. Maybe you feel like spending time with beauty. Maybe you feel like messy after party, having sex with somebody who's a little bit crazy. Why not? The thing is though, you can't really have both. When you make the decision, you've got to decide to go for one or the other. And if, for example, you go for the hot girl who's 100% unavailable, you might stand out that much that the contact that you make on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it might be, that you become long-term friends and maybe you hook up or travel together sometime in the future, depending on your age group and depending on how open-minded she is. At the same time, maybe you decide to go for the girl who seems to be down, who has good logistics, but then it doesn't actually work out. When you decide for one option or the other, when you make a firm decision and decide to follow through all the way to the point of no return, the point where you have to say goodbye, then you can actually learn something from your own game. You can get some feedback. If it didn't go all the way, you can be like, oh shit, maybe I should have pushed harder to get us all into a taxi and go to my place for an after party. Maybe I should have spent more time with the friends. Maybe I should have screened harder to have realized that they only had 2 seats in the car and there was 2 girls in the car. Shit like that. So when you play things, make a decision, you can play things all the way to the end. Then you can get a feedback loop on how your game is and how your decision-making process is. If you're trawling around, half gaming one group and half gaming the other group, what's going to happen is they're both going to leave individually and you're going to have nothing. No after party, no getting food with the girls, no walking them to the bus stop, no group verification, nothing. Your game's going to be shit. And the most golden thing about screening, Dave, who has the best game in the room? In the world? Yep. No, me. No, I have a better game than you every fucking time. You do? Yeah, that's what I want to hear. He said that's what I think, but actually he has better game. What is going to happen when you're thorough with your screening? Not even thorough, but when you actually draw it to your attention, is that you're going to always leave the club with the same expectation that you expected to leave with. Okay, most likely you're going to find a girl who's single, who's imperfect, whose logistics are imperfect, and you can only take it so far. And when you walk that girl, when you insist that you walk her out of the front door, you meet all of her friends, and you take her to the taxi stand and off she goes, you walk away feeling so satisfied knowing that I got exactly what was realistically expected. That was it. Maybe you kind of fuck up a judgment call and you're like, shit, I almost got it just right. And you can always have the bonus where you actually take it further and you go to somebody's house, have an after party, get some action, hook up, have sex, whatever it might be. But the best thing about bringing screening into your consciousness, based on all the examples that I've shown you and other examples that we'll continue to talk about on the forum, is that you always leave the night never thinking that you suck or had a bad night.